Welcome to today's episode of Global Perspectives, where we delve deep into the most pressing issues shaping our world. This week, our focus turns to the escalating military conflict involving the United States, Israel, and Iran, a situation that has captured global attention over the past few weeks. While this is an ongoing story, the developments we've seen today continue to underscore the gravity of the conflict and its far-reaching implications. The roots of this conflict are deeply entrenched in both historical animosities and contemporary geopolitical dynamics. The complexity of the Middle East has long been a focal point of global politics, and the involvement of major powers like the United States only adds layers to an already intricate scenario. The recent flare-up, which began in late February of this year, has seen military engagements primarily centered around Iran's nuclear capabilities and its regional influence, both of which have frequently been sources of tension with Israel, and by extension, its ally, the United States. In recent weeks, the rhetoric from all sides has been notably aggressive, with diplomatic channels seemingly strained under the weight of escalating military actions. This situation raises several critical questions. What are the strategic objectives driving each nation's actions? What risks does this conflict pose to regional stability and global security? And how can diplomatic efforts be reinvigorated to de-escalate tensions? From the perspective of the United States and Israel, the primary concern has been Iran's nuclear program. The fear is that a nuclear-armed Iran could significantly alter the balance of power in the Middle East, potentially emboldening Tehran to further assert its influence across the region. This has been a long-standing point of contention, with various international agreements and negotiations attempting to curb Iran's nuclear ambitions. However, the breakdown of such agreements, coupled with Iran's continued uranium enrichment activities, has led to a renewed sense of urgency from Washington and Tel Aviv. Iran, on the other hand, perceives the military actions as aggressive and unjustified provocations. For Tehran, maintaining its nuclear program is seen as a sovereign right and a necessary deterrent against foreign intervention. The Iranian government has consistently argued that its nuclear intentions are peaceful, aimed at energy generation and scientific advancement. Yet the opacity surrounding its program has fueled suspicion and, consequently, conflict. The current situation is further complicated by the intricate web of alliances and enmities in the region. Iran's strategic partnerships with non-state actors and other regional powers introduce additional variables that complicate any potential resolutions. Meanwhile, Israel's security considerations and its own domestic political dynamics play a significant role in shaping its responses. The United States, as a global power with vested interests in Middle Eastern stability, must navigate a delicate path, balancing its alliances and its broader strategic ambitions. As we consider the implications of this conflict, several key factors emerge. First, the potential for broader regional destabilization cannot be underestimated. The Middle East has often been described as a tinderbox, where localized conflicts can quickly spiral into larger, more destructive engagements. The involvement of major powers like the United States only heightens the stakes, as any miscalculation could lead to unintended consequences on a global scale. Second, the humanitarian impact of military conflict is profound. The human cost is often overshadowed by strategic discussions, yet it is the civilians who bear the brunt of these actions. Displacement, loss of life, and the destruction of infrastructure are all tragic components of such conflicts, underscoring the urgent need for diplomatic solutions that prioritize human security alongside national interests. And finally, the role of diplomacy and international organizations in mitigating such conflicts is crucial. The international community, through bodies like the United Nations, has a responsibility to facilitate dialogue and foster conditions conducive to peace. The challenge lies in overcoming entrenched positions and building trust among parties who have long viewed each other with skepticism and hostility. As we close today's discussion, it is clear that the path forward requires a multifaceted approach. Military actions can address immediate threats, but lasting peace will only be achieved through sustained diplomatic engagement and a willingness to address the underlying causes of tension. The stakes are high, and the world watches with bated breath as developments unfold. It is a reminder of the complex interplay between power, security, and diplomacy in our interconnected world. Thank you for joining us on Global Perspectives. We will continue to monitor this evolving story and bring you insightful analysis as it develops. Stay informed, stay engaged, and until next time, Take care.